Hey everybody, hit like and subscribe. Here's a quick video. I was doing a recap of my current collection and making some suggestions on if you wanted to build a collection on a budget and stuff. And one of the things I talked about was this Casio Duro and how I was thinking of getting one that has the nicer metal band, the bracelet and stuff. I felt like the watch itself is actually very nice looking. It's a good watch for $50. It's fantastic. 200-meter water resistance. Quartz, accurate movement. It's Casio. It's got a screw down crown. It's very well machined. It's a really nice watch that I think punches way above its weight class. But the one thing that made it feel like a Casio was the rubber strap. And I noticed that there was a version that had the steel bracelet. But it'd be an inexpensive bracelet. But I was thinking of getting one. And then I was like, you know what? What if we just tried dressing it up with a NATO strap? So, what do you think? I just happened to have one. I ordered this one that was blue. It's dark navy blue and red by accident. But I noticed that the blue kind of tied in with the blue here. And I was like, because I'm a big fan of the NATO straps. I had this one on here, but the green just didn't go. It made it look a little too Christmassy. But I like the red on red. Like that thing stands out. This is my Orient. I'm a huge fan of NATO straps, and this is something you might want to consider on your watches. If you've got a leather strap that's kind of worn, you got a bracelet. The bracelets are nice, but they get scratched up really easily, like amazingly easily. Yeah, it's stainless steel, but it's not hardened steel like a knife blade or something. And so even just sitting here typing, if I do that with my ones that have bracelets, even the nicer Citizens and Tissot's, a little speck of dust, something you wouldn't think about, could have silica in it. Could be almost like sand. It's abrasive. It scratches the shit out of it. And then you got leather, which looks really nice, but leather can get scuffed and worn, and you get sweat in it. It starts to stink and get funky. You got to get leather conditioner, and some people like that. It takes on a nice patina, but I want like as little maintenance as possible. There's some other benefits here. This dresses this watch up really, really nicely. NATO straps look great. My Bulova looks 10 times better, my Lunar Pilot, with the NATO strap than it does with the bands that it came with. It just looks phenomenal. And so I like this. I mean, this made this watch look more sporty, but also higher end. That now looks to me like a fancier, more expensive watch. Now, whether you like that color combo or not, these are just the ones that I happen to have on hand. But I've got one that's all red that I think goes great with my Orient. I should have grabbed the other one out of the other room, and this is an iPhone, so it doesn't have a pause video feature. Come on, Apple, get with the program like everybody else. So I can't run in the other room and pause this without having to stop it and come back and stitch it all together. So we'll just go on. You've seen the Bulova Moon watch that's got the bond, the gray and the silver and the black stripes. I think that made that watch look fantastic. It pops, it draws attention to it, and it's a nice looking watch. Very shiny, very clean, like it a lot. Here's another thing about the NATO straps. They're really cheap. You can get a NATO strap for $10 up to $30, depending on what you want to spend. I think $34 if you want like a really high-end one that I've seen. That's like the top end. You want to go buy a really nice leather strap, you can spend $200. You can spend less, but I'm saying if you wanted like the top of the line. The other thing here is how secure it makes the watch. When you have a normal band on your watch, you got two anchor points, and then they join underneath, right? So we'll go ahead and put that together as if it was on my wrist. And then you've got your spring bars that go through here and into the watch. Well, if something pulls or snags or pulls one of the things, what happens? One spring bar pops, and the whole watch hits the ground, or lands in the lake, and it's gone, right? Falls off your wrist as you're going on your motorcycle, whatever. If there's any kind of failure, here, the way that this goes under and then captures, if that one fails, it's still captured by this or vice versa. You would have to rip both of these off. So the chances of doing one and then it falling, if this snagged and it pulled on one of them, then this thing would flop up and probably release from whatever it hooked on it, but you wouldn't lose the watch. You'd have to replace a spring bar, which you can get a whole pack of them for $7. And your watch would still be okay. You wouldn't lose it. It wouldn't be at the bottom of the lake or the pond or whatever. So I like that. I also like that if you wanted to change it up, make it more festive, you can sit here and swap this out with another band. And I could throw this red band on there. I could throw this band on. I mean, this is how easy it is to swap bands back and forth. You just feed it through and then go ahead and do that. And boom, now you got a different look and feel. Those colors don't go together. That just happened to be the other one that I had sitting here. But you can see how easy it is. And I think it looks nice. You can wash these. It's nylon. It's basically impervious to most chemicals and things like that. Salt water won't affect it. If you caught something and it tore a little bit, take a lighter and just melt, if you get the little bit of frayed edges like you sometimes get with nylon, like on a dog leash, just take a lighter real quick and do this and it'll curl and reseal itself. I mean, it's just a really cool way to do it. So I like these a lot. These are inexpensive. It allows you to take your watch that might have been like, looking, with the cheap rubber band. And I put that on backwards. Let's do that again. Let's do it the right way this time. So you just feed it in through the top, feed it underneath, and then slide it up into place, and then that goes in. So no tools. Once you've taken off your stock spring bar, your stock whatever strap it came with, put the spring bars back in, and then you just basically take that. It's very secure. It doesn't go anywhere. It's all weather. Keeps your watch right where you want it to be with less risk of losing it, and you don't have to worry about it getting all funky. You just fold that up underneath those rings, whatever slack you've got, so you can adjust it to whatever length wrist, and boom. I think that looks absolutely fantastic. I think the blue looks nice. There's something cool, 70s retro sport. I don't know. You feel like you should be yachting or something with a strap like that. There's just something cool, slightly nautical about it. And I like it a lot. So I don't know what I paid for that one. That might have been like $11.99 or something on the Amazons. But it lets you take a watch where I was thinking of replacing the watch because I looked at this. I'm like, it's a fantastic watch, but the rubber bands do make it look cheap. It looked like a Casio. Now it doesn't. It looks like something much nicer. So I've got 50 plus, so let's say I've got now $62 invested, and I'm less worried about scratching it, and it's water resistant just like metal, but it won't scratch up things. That's the other thing, the more metal, when you have those metal bands, they sometimes have like rough edges. So it may not just be scratching your band, but you might reach for something and scratch the car or something like that. Everything's pretty well rounded. There's really no sharp edges on here, so I'm less concerned about that. I don't think I'll have to worry too much. Not that I want to go down the side of my Corvette, but I think that looks so much better than that. $11 transforms the look of the watch. I would feel much more comfortable wearing that. Not that I was uncomfortable wearing a cheap watch to begin with, but if I was going somewhere, or if I was in the office or going out to dinner or something and I had that on, I wouldn't go, ooh, I'm a little underdressed on the watch department. I think that looks fantastic, and people would not think that is a $50 watch. So more secure, better than leather. Leather does look a little classy, but the bands do tend to get beat up and stuff. This really won't, and it's cheap to replace. And I could have a whole bunch of different colors and match it to your outfit, whatever. Not that everybody gets that into, accessorizing their watches, but I think it's super comfortable. It's awesome. I love the look of that now. I was thinking of giving that watch away and buying the Pepsi version with the bracelet. And then I was like, wait a minute. I got a whole freaking box of all different size and style watch bands. And I was like, wait a minute. That one would probably look, and the blue would tie in with the blue. And I think it does nicely. So there you go. There's a tip from your Uncle Dave. If you got a watch that you're feeling like, the watch doesn't look as nice, or the band is kind of dinged up and this and that, and you're thinking of getting a new watch, you might be able to get away if the watch is in good shape. Find a band that complements it and snazz it up with that. I think it transforms the watch. I mean, you're seeing the whole thing on your wrist. It's not just this piece. That may be the most important piece, but if the rest of it looked like shit, then the watch kind of looks like crap. So put a nice band on it. And I think NATO straps are a good way to go. You see NATO straps on Breitlings and Rolexes and Tudors and stuff. I mean, a lot of really nice high-end watches nowadays you can get with NATO straps. So there you go.